What's happening, folks? Welcome back to Poppinland. It's episode number 2, the second one ever. I hope you enjoyed the first one. I got some good feedback on the format, keeping it short, keeping it sweet, talking about anything we want to on these. Today, I feel like we are seeing a revival among some of these bands that really haven't been on my radar in either years, in some cases decades, and I feel like we're back. We've got new music, we've got new songs, we've got new albums to look forward to. It just seems like a really cool time for a lot of the music that I dig, which is typically like pop punk, kind of harder rock, alt rock, stuff like that. So that's what we are going to dive into today. As you can see, the subjects are off to the side. The first one we have to talk about, The Starting Line, came out with a new song. This song is called Sense of Humor, and they have not really released new music in quite some time. I had to go back and look. I did not realize that they have not released an album since 2007. I was in college, for God's sake. This is so long ago. It's been forever. So I saw that they were releasing a new song. I checked it out. I'll tell you what, I have not been able to stop listening to this one. Such a great song. It just, to me, it seems like so fresh, and it's just like really, really catchy. And it's been on repeat since it dropped. This was produced by Will Yip, who actually produced the latest Neck Deep single, You Should See Me Now, which is another one that has been in my rotation. They apparently have a new album coming out September 26th called Eternal Youth. I'm really excited that a lot of these bands that have either been away for a while or been on break or haven't been able to tour extensively, like it seems like everything is lining up right now to where people are really appreciating, especially some of this music from the earlier like 2000s and such. And I hope these bands get a chance to get out and go on tour and like be appreciated. I'm really stoked to see what this new album will bring. And again, I mean, almost 2 decades. I remember seeing them a couple years ago. They were out with the All American Rejects and Newfound Glory. And I really hadn't thought about like how long it had been since they had released, I guess, a brand new album. So the fact that they've got a new song out, that's awesome. Next up, we got to talk about one of my favorite bands, Muse. This is a band that I have rocked with since the early days. I remember meeting them in like, gosh, probably 2003-ish or something. Awesome dudes, have been supporting them forever. There was a series of albums, like I feel like for me, my like highlight of fandom was peaking at like Black Holes and Revelations, and then there was a stretch of years there where I've always listened to them and like checked them out, but it wasn't my favorite direction or albums. I did dig the Drones one quite a bit. However, a few years back, I'm shocked it's already been 3 years, the Will of the People album to me was like a return to true form, it felt like, for what I personally dig with Muse. And I really enjoyed that album. I went out and caught them on tour during that stretch, and it kind of surprised me. The song is called Unravelling, and it came out of nowhere. Like I just got an email from Muse on like my mailing list or whatever. I was like, oh shit, they've got a new song coming out. This is rad. Let me check it out. And I'm always curious when it comes to Muse, like what are we going to get? Are we going to get like slower, chill vibe? Are we going to get like almost like 80s, like Simulation Theory vibe? Are we going to get the heavier stuff? That's where I'm always going to lean. If you listen to the podcast or know me, I'm always going to lean towards like heavier stuff that I want. And so when I put this song on to play it, I knew right away it was almost like a Stranger Things vibe. You just get like kind of like an eerie, and then he's coming in, like Matt's coming in soft. Lyrically, it's like really dark, almost like a haunting vibe to it. Some of the lyrics in this, I mean, it was like giving me chills listening to it. I mean, there was a line he has early on. He says, "Our love is an unlit script no one can memorize, redacted and revised." I'm like, dude, Matt's still hurting. I remember on the last album, like it reminded me of Won't Stand Down, where I was thinking, this man has been hurt and he is putting it all out there. And all of a sudden, it kind of gets to the heavy part. And I was thinking, yes, here we go. So I feel like this song for me is just like a perfect blend of kind of the slower, like chill, electronic vibes, like almost like space type vibes. But then it gets into the heavy stuff. And then we get like a soaring chorus. I mean, to me, it's just a really, really great Muse song. I don't know if this is going to be the sign of future material, new album or anything in the works, but for now, stoked to get some new Muse and really, really dig the new song. The next one, we're going to talk about Good Charlotte. Now, I will say, I mean, obviously I knew Good Charlotte back in the day. I have not thought about them too much in quite some time, and that's kind of the theme on this month's Poppinland. Like, there's a lot of bands that really haven't been on my radar, and then suddenly they're back and they have like new songs that are great. They've got new albums on the way, and it's really cool. So I saw that Good Charlotte was coming out with a new song, and it wasn't one that I just like had to go listen to right away, but finally I listened to it a couple days after it came out. The song is called Rejects, and at first, like when it first kicked in, the little clean guitar, I was thinking, okay, this is kind of like a Blinkish sounding riff. And at first I was like, I don't know about that. And I listened to it a second time immediately, and I was like, oh my God, this song is so catchy. And for the past few days, I guarantee you this is my number one song on my playlist. I've just been listening to it over and over and over. I really feel like this is a super catchy, just like rad pop punk sounding song. It'll be interesting to see, you know, as far as mass appeal or radio play or anything like that. Like, I don't know how it's doing on that side of things, but from my perspective, I was pretty pleased with it. And I know their last album, I think, was Generation RX 2018-ish. I remember listening to that, but, you know, I listen to a lot of stuff and I'll give it a chance and I'll listen to it in full, but it takes a lot for me to like go back and revisit stuff. And on a lot of the last few Good Charlotte albums, there just wasn't stuff that I was personally revisiting a ton. And this song right here, I mean, I've already listened to it probably 30 times in the past few days. So I really, really enjoy this song. Like, not gonna lie, apparently they have a new album, Motel du Cap, coming out on August 8th. And as I mentioned earlier, their last album was in 2018. So, I mean, a 7-year stretch here where people are just like all of a sudden dropping new songs, new albums that rule. And it seems like older emos or elder pop punk fans like myself, like we're just stoked, and it's kind of a fresh time. Like, I feel like it's a dope summer thus far. Gotta talk about Hot Mulligan. Love this band. They have a brand new song out. It is called And a Big Load. Not only that, they as well announced a brand new album that is coming. It is called The Sound a Body Makes When It's Still, and it's dropping in August. They are the kings of just the craziest song titles. I'm gonna crown them now. I mean, they just come up with the craziest song titles. It makes it hard for me to memorize some of them, but it's super, super sick. I dig the new song. Like, to me, I feel like they are a super fresh wave of just like, there's pop punk, but it's like heavier, it's riffy, it's kind of angsty, it's emo-y. It's just a really cool vibe. And then obviously their lead singer has an incredibly unique delivery style and voice, and the way he can kind of like scream back and forth with it. Like, it's really, really sick. Definitely looking forward to this album. On top of that, late October and November-ish, they have announced a tour with another one of my favorite bands that we discussed on the first episode of Poppinland, Arm's Length. They're playing with Arm's Length and Drug Church, which is insane. Drug Church actually just got added to some of the Blink-182 and Alkaline Trio shows coming up in August and September. Definitely a band you should check out if you haven't yet. So definitely looking forward to new music. They've already released the one song. Not quite sure when the second one's going to drop, but I mean, a lot of this stuff is right around the corner. Gotta mention Motion City Soundtrack. They dropped a new song out of the blue. I was not expecting this. The song is called She Is Afraid, and my God, what a nice little riff in there. I found this song just like so refreshing, so rad, really dig it. It was great seeing Justin. I know he's been dealing with some issues with his back, hoping he's working through some of that. They as well announced a brand new album, The Same Old Wasted Wonderful World. Is this their first album since 2015? Has it been a decade? Like, my God, the amount of time that is passing between some of these bands, you know, releasing new music, it's kind of mind-boggling, but I'm stoked for them. I really think right now, like, everybody's just like getting out, supporting these bands that they loved growing up, early 2000s, like mid 2000s, and now that people are out just touring like crazy and releasing new songs, hopefully being able to like make a living off of some of these shows and some of these tours. I think it's an exciting time, and I think that's part of why we're probably seeing a lot of these bands kind of go for it with like a second wave and a fresh look at this. I think Yellow Card's a good example of that. We talked about that on the last episode. I'm still listening to that lead single of theirs. They just did like a three-part interview on, may have been Alt Press, but it was really interesting to hear kind of their perspective on working with Travis in the studio and all that stuff. So it's just a fun time. Like, I think that's my takeaway for this whole episode of Poppinland, is like, it's almost like a revival of these bands that we grew up with, and they're all just like back. They're back with new singles. They're back with new albums coming. They're back on tour, and we need to get out and just support them and just have a good old time. Last thing to mention, New Found Glory, one of my favorite bands in the history of the world. They're done recording their new album. It's going to be coming sooner than you would think. 10 songs. They're getting ready to go out on tour with The Offspring and Jimmy Eat World. Cannot wait to attend one of those shows. I think they're also playing a one-off in Nashville. Planning on going to that one. If you see me at a show, say what up. Can't wait for new music there. Always exciting. And then to end the show today, we're going to transition to Poppin's Picks. I'm doing 3 songs that have been in my rotation. I encourage you to listen to them. If there's new music you want me to check out, you think I would dig it, bring the fire. I want heavy, I want catchy, I want hooky. I'll totally check out what you drop below. For me, coming in at number 3, it's gonna be a song we've already talked about, Unravelling by Muse. I know Muse isn't for everybody, but for me, this is just such a chill vibe, and then it hits you heavy. Beautiful song. Coming in at number 2, I am going with Rejects by Good Charlotte. It's catchy, it's fun, it's catchy, it's good pop punk, and it's even good pop punk that I think like your mom or your sister would even dig, and you could all listen to it in the car together, and it's great. I cannot be the only one though who misheard the lyrics. I thought the first few times I listened to it, I thought he says, all my friends, they were into sex. And I was like, huh. And then I looked up the lyrics when I was listening to it. All my friends were in sex. And then I was thinking, okay, this song's deeper than I thought. Like, this is kind of a sad song, and it's pretty honest here. So check that one out. Number 1, the number 1 song that has been in my rotation since it dropped. Can't stop listening to it right now. The Starting Line. The song is Sense of Humor. Check it out. Those are the 3 picks. Thanks for hanging out here on Poppinland. If you enjoy the content, do the thumbs up thingy, like and subscribe thingy. It helps. Peace.